Preparing to stream. Preparing to stream.
Ba, 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 ba.
Got it. I have a stream.
The stream.
The stream.
Hmm.
The stream.
Let's see. Live on Twitch. There we go.
Hey, all right.
And there's episode 35 now, right? Update that.
Hell if I know, man. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-boop pop.
Current episode
Let's see.
is 35.
Stream stuff.
I'm half surprised it's only that much, and half surprised that it's that much.
That it is that much.
I was
Seems like
steady
very
in
compatible.
dichotomy. Hold on, I'm gonna do this thing again. To select.
Info 35.
See sleeping tabs. Let's see. Thursday.
Every
Boom.
tab is waking
I
up.
basically told mine to
All
quit
of the
waking up.
tabs
I'll
at
just waking them up
once.
manually.
Wake up, you sleepyheads.
Updated. Now everybody knows the deal. Wait. Are we back?
You can't hear me, right?
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Oh, all right, cool, cool.
Yeah. Why did you shit talk us so much?
I mean, some I would understand.
Fucking assholes can't hear me.
Standard
right
mic
now.
check.
Could finally
Within
say that.
reason.
Switched sources for a moment to do some
Just,
updates.
these are assholes. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, there's a post.
Drops real quick.
Cool.
Now I can cry on
And-
camera.
cross app messaging. Why are you showing me that? I don't care about that.
With the
I'm-
cold comes the dry.
Putting up last minute hype posts. It will
Nice.
accomplish so much, I'm sure.
Because, you know, we normally have such a huge audience.
Yeah.
Really only need one person.
That's right. All we need is our VIP.
They say Mark Twain always said to write for one, or Kurt Vonnegut said, or somebody said to write for one person. And we do our games for one
That's right.
person.
Mark Twain said every quote eventually gets attributed to Mark Twain.
That's true. What else do I need? Oh, pop out chat.
Dusk.
Okay, you should have been tagged in a hype post. And I'll just mention it on the Discord. There we go.
So I think the only upkeep we need to do for Dusk is for Paloma to decide what she's doing for the Resurrectionists move.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Do something cool.
Let's
No.
get 2 grave robbers. And they kiss.
This is now a game about kissing.
The making out grave robbers.
And then they kiss.
We have a threat we're trying to address. Would you two stop making out?
What if we get double no blowback and the night is just great?
Yeah.
I think that just
Blow
turns into
forward.
blowback.
Boomerang blowback. Yeah, let's get a valuable because I ran out of things. I don't have enough things. I want to fill up all my slots. And no blowback. Oh, wait, what are we doing tonight? Do we need a grave robber? I like the one last time. She was cool.
Well, we still need lots of clues, right? Isn't that where we're at? We need clues to the mastermind threat.
Yeah.
Well,
And a demon or a dark entity just ran out the back door with your body.
yeah, Gearnaz is out,
Oh, fuck.
out in
Yeah,
London.
Kieran
fucking shit up.
Scary.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some trinkets, no blowback. I don't need any friends.
What's the difficulty on the mastermind?
6, wasn't it? 6.
Mhm.
So if we get one more clue and we're willing to burn some masks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a couple of masks.
just throwing that out there.
Oh, yeah. Take her down. Or we could do it like we did with Brundlewood Bay and take the scenic route. How many clues can we get?
Yeah, clues.
100
Clues.
clues.
100 clues. I don't
Okay.
know if we're ready yet.
Get enough clues that it's a 12 no matter what.
That
need
this
to start-
story has to become so convoluted.
Just
I'm gonna use
disregard
all
all
100 of these clues.
None of
Francis
these
is
matter.
Going to look for clues. in the
librarian.
orb.
Would be the ultimate solving. None of these clues have anything to do with her plan. They're
It was
all.
all a red herring.
All a red herring.
It's really Paloma.
No,
What? It was Azrael all along.
so
Knew
much
there was
crime.
Something suspicious about that kid.
I said no blowback.
So what if you don't take no blowback? What does that mean? It just means something like basically a complication happens, or what? How does
Yeah,
it?
that basically means I get to do a move and have something happen.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where Anna came from altogether.
Yeah,
And
we
that's
don't
just-
want that.
That's just unique to Paloma, right?
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah,
has to take no blowback, or else she's gonna get some blowback.
Yeah. Or
y'all
else,
want to
like, the
start doing
cops saw
illegal
her digging
shit.
up
You can
bodies
also
yeah.
worry about being on the wrong side of the law. But
Yeah.
till then, just me.
Cool. And which one have we done yet? Let's do for our unseen, let's do an evening promenade in Covent Garden. It's on D52.
You sank my battleship.
So that's a big
I was
fucking
slowly
board.
trying to get that joke. I was like, "There's a thing." Couldn't make the connection. It's not checkers or
Two
Connect
alphabets.
Four.
It's super battleship, the hugest
alphabets
grid
wide
you've ever
and-
seen.
52 high.
Battleship Legacy.
Battleship. Oh gosh.
Pardon me
You
while
ran
I
across
take that notes. Hang on.
ran across an ancient landmine that has been there for thousands of years.
That we put there
Uh,
5 playthroughs ago.
5
Yes.
playthroughs ago. That
Check that in
that one is a black
Q2.
hole to another dimension.
Coming summer 2023. All right.
Excellent.
Oh gosh.
An evening promenade in Covent Garden. Covent Garden houses a large market selling mostly fruit, vegetables, and fresh flowers, recently covered by a new market building. While most of the stalls have packed up by the time dusk falls, the area is still abuzz with visitors. Both the Royal Opera House and the Theatre Royal can be found here
With cheese.
with cheese. And while it has cleaned up its image a little, it still has a reputation for hosting ladies of the evening. So the first one is paint the scene. As crowds gather for the evening performances and market porters tear down stalls, describe how this place is a crossroads for all strata of London society. Who would like to jump on that one?
I'm gonna declare not it because I'm very, very tired. Crowds gather for evening porter and market porters clear down stalls.
I mean, I'll do it if no one wants it. I think I thought I did the double last time, so I didn't want to jump on another double.
Yeah, go for it. I'm drawing a blank. I could do it, but it might be a struggle.
And all I want to do is just plant characters we've already encountered there, which is not what we're supposed to be doing.
Oh yeah, we should make all of the unseens. We should Spoon River them.
All the unseens come together.
We've been missing out on this. Everyone's in the marketplace.
Including Louis the Goose.
It's a strange layout in that you get upper class people going on making their way through Covent Garden to the theaters for the shows. Lower class people both working and tearing down the stalls. The very obvious ladies of the evening coming out and starting to plant themselves on the corners, kind of the highest scale corners they can get away with, which is usually like across the street from the more upscale theaters and things. But it's strange because it's become so normal for this to just be a huge melting pot of all types that it's the one place where, you know, you see the upper crusts kind of still giving a little bit of a riffraff, but not nearly as much as normal because they know that's just part of, you can't avoid it in Covent Gardens. In private, they'll probably complain that, like, why would they put such a wonderful theater so near the stinky alleys and things? But you just come to expect it. So you actually see, if you were to stand back and watch the scene, it's very strange because you can see the patchwork of like well-dressed upper class, low class, all kind of mingling and crossing paths. And it's not something you generally see anywhere else in London. Generally, it's very much like stream of upper class, stream of lower class, never the twain shall meet. So it's also a favorite of pickpockets. Consequently, and a slightly increased police force during, right in prime time when shows are about to start and the highest points of traffic. And a favorite of many of the sort of middle-class people watchers as well for that same reason, just to really be able to see exemplified the stratification of the class system and the contrasts of the different people as they pass one another. And like, wow, that really puts it into stark relief.
Sweet. So what are we all planning on doing tonight?
Chilling out in an orb.
Oh, I forgot you're inside an orb.
Just contemplating.
Entire night inside an orb.
I think he's already doing some decorating.
How did that happen? I don't remember.
There's no corners in here. I can't even work with this.
I rolled very badly for leaving said orb and then didn't mask my way out of it. This was after I tried to use my smarts to outwit Tati and then got shot.
So,
and you did the thing for the slugger move.
We have no idea where Francis is then, do we?
No, we think that he's going to meet up with us, but your gremlin has just appeared.
Yes, we must
eat all of our flour, and I'm chasing it. And
so I guess I suppose we would leave a note for Francis.
Sure.
In case he comes. Well, it's an emergency. We've dark entity in my old body is out on the streets of London. off to search for him with Paloma.
Very legible.
Best Gareth.
And it's spelled with a G. Whoa.
G
Actually, it's
V
very
slash
crossed out back to a G.
G
like,
slash
oh, yes.
S slash V slash G.
I'm Gareth again. That's right.
That's a but a Garnaz Gareth.
Or Jareth.
Yeah,
Oh, good point.
Jareth.
Maybe it should be Gereth.
Jareth.
Jezroth.
Like it.
Jezroth.
So yeah, let's start off with Francis in the orb.
Oh,
So-
no.
So it is not a large space that you've been confined in.
Fair.
Probably you can't quite touch the opposite sides with either arm, but it's
Yeah.
about that size, like just under like 6 feet ish across.
Okay.
So it's not entirely comfortable, but not bad. And it is inside the fragrant void, so you can mostly see just the sort of shifting landscape
Of the
around of the fragrant void, with ominous dark shapes around the horizon.
Oh god.
But you can also kind of just a little bit faded in there see that scene of the I think to you it looks like you are surrounded by a half dozen like looming figures that
Oh
are
no.
shadowed that you can't quite make out,
Oh god.
but which we as the audience know, at least one of which is Portia.
Okay. But yeah, so
And being in the void has
Void
brought
means-
out
yeah.
Marsbang Francis a little bit.
Yeah, Marsbang Francis is what we're looking at.
So how does Mars Francis kind of begin to exhibit himself in the situation when you find yourself kind of with nothing to do and no one to show off for, basically?
I mean, I think it's pretty, like, we were already seeing it. Like, it's a pretty immediate thing of being in the fragrant void that brings this about. So I don't know. I feel like when we cut in, he's pretty full Mars Francis and is just glaring at the figures and kind of like cold and considering at this point.
Mhm.
Like, he has an intelligence that normal Francis does not have, in my opinion, of just like he's like looking at the shapes and trying to glean information about what he's looking at.
Mm.
And occasionally going to the walls and kind of probing them and seeing if there are ways through.
What? So this is Mars Francis trying to figure out what the deal is, glaring at the shapes. So I guess the question is, what are you afraid might happen if they recognize you there in the position that you're in?
That's a good question. Let's see. If they recognize that they have Francis trapped in an orb,
Yeah.
like, because I feel like that's kind of a nice end game for them. It's like, okay, we've got Francis off the board.
Mhm.
I think my gut instinct is that they use me as sort of a hostage against the other hunters.
Mm.
Like, they somehow establish proof that we have Francis and we will
Ooh.
and we can actually kill him or make it so he can never return to this reality, whether that's true or not.
Yeah, and I think it is worse than that.
Oh,
Sure.
no.
They're able to, while you're trapped there, actually extract your essence into a body and either use that
Is it the
present it
immortality?
as Francis to convince the
Oh,
other
no.
hunters to not pursue, or like you use your immortal essence for some other terrible ends on their end.
Okay. So yeah, what is this a roll on, and what is the stats? What are the current stats now?
I think it's going to be composure.
Okay.
It feels like composure because you're
in a
you
weird
gotta-
situation trying.
yeah,
to...
you're in
Keep it
a odd
together.
situation trying to sort of keep your shit together. You're also got your Mars presence. So it's like it doesn't feel like a full present thing. Yeah, does that sound good to you?
I think so. Let's see. Oh, I have some hidden rows visible. Okay. And I guess composure for Mars Francis is the same as composure for regular
Yeah.
Francis.
Yeah.
And oh, I already used the fancy rod of mystery, so
Oh yeah.
that is no help.
Inside the rod of mystery at this point.
Only have a goose, and the goose cannot help me here. Okay.
Oh,
So I'll roll 2d plus 2.
Yes, that's correct.
So plus 2. Sorry. 2. Okay, 2d6 plus 2. That's a 5.
oh no.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I think what the scene looks like then is one of the looming shapes kind of leans in closer so you can see their face.
Yeah.
And you met Eve, so it's Mother Eve looming in there looking at you and saying,
Mother Eve from the Coven? Or...
Mother Eve from the Coven, yeah.
Okay.
Who escaped. And she sort of says, stand back. I think I've got one. And
oh no.
sort of like draws you up. You feel yourself being sort of pulled apart a little bit.
Yeah.
And like part of your consciousness is still trapped in the orb.
Yeah.
And sort of like the audience view is seeing the like a translucent form of Francis being drawn up and out of the orb.
Oh god.
And yeah. And I think at this point Eve was just like, this is much better than we expected. We can use this one. We can using this part, we can construct a simulacrum that we can use to dissuade or destroy the other hunters. But now trapped in this orb as a direct conduit to Quinn's immortality. And we could all draw upon it. And there's evil laughter everywhere.
Yeah. Oh god.
I think this pretty much takes Francis out of the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking having simulated Francis show up.
Yeah.
I do want to see the scenes where we interact with simulated Francis and are like, what the fuck, man?
Maybe that could be, if
These
I
are
mask my
compound
way out of
sentences.
this, maybe that could be the complication, is there is now a fake Francis.
There's two.
Which of them is real?
And they fall in love with each other.
Yeah, inevitably.
And they kiss.
Falling in love wasn't part of the plan. Okay, so I'm either doing Darkened Threshold. I have 2 masks left, so this kills one of them. Narrate a flashback to when you finally destroyed the person you fell madly in love with. Oh man, I don't have a great hit on either of these, but it does feel like the right time to do the last Mask of the Past. Unfortunate rhyming. Which, yeah, and I don't know how it fits in the chronology, but what I really want to have happen here is that the whatever Empress of Mars type. I feel like Francis is leading a crowd with the same sort of rhetoric that Brathwaite has been using, saying that the so-called Empress of Mars, who was born to rule all of you, is nothing. And I think maybe this is after combat,
right?
Like they're sort of they've surrendered. The Empress's army has surrendered, and who has been defeated on the field of combat like any one of us, like any fool. And so from here on, no kings, no queens, no powers. And then he levels a sword against that side and finishes with, and no mercy. And
Nice.
The surrendered army gets like swarmed on by the winning forces.
Nice. Did she have a name, or was she just like a?
I don't think I ever named her, which makes me feel guilty. I apologize for that.
How did the
I've never had the best
change?
handle on the Mars storyline.
Yeah.
Oh God, and I haven't even I'm trying to think of a good change for the masterwork at this point. Yeah, because it has to kind of get from there to where it started before. Yeah, I guess there's sort of a Trompe l'oeil thing where he seems to be cutting through the surface of the painting with a sword, with just a look of rage on his face.
Nice.
no.
Cool. So rewind that.
Down
So
to
I think
one mask.
one last mask. So this was to realize where you are, and so I guess backtrack. What was your what's
the objective
outcome that you would like there? Yeah.
Yeah, the objective that I think Mars Francis wanted was gathering information about who was keeping him here.
Yeah.
He was curious also about where he was and how it worked, but I think it's mainly like, how do I get at these people?
Yeah.
Make them do what I want.
So I think as sort of the Mars Francis mind sharpens up and clarifies, you can start to see it's almost like your eyes adjusting to darkness, and you can kind of see the surroundings outside there, and you recognize it as the sitting room at Brathwaite Hall.
Okay, yeah.
And you do recognize the faces around the looming faces there, one of which was clearly Portia.
Yeah.
Another is Mother Eve. One was I wrote them down last time, Lady Susan, who was at the end of the table the other time.
Oh, right. And the goose, I assume, is there.
The goose, of course. One is Anna.
Betrayed.
Oh, no.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have Azrael written down. That's not right.
Azrael.
One is let's make it
Sean.
What was her name? One is Irma.
Oh no.
I did just realize Sean did period all last episode. I feel bad. No, Sean.
And the last one takes a while to sort of come into sharpness, especially for Mars Francis. Like you can kind of see the face, but it keeps you can see it, but it doesn't
register.
Like your brain can't really click until
it's like looking at an AI generated unnameable object.
Until finally it does, and it is the Empress from Mars.
Oh, great.
Sitting around the table at Breath Whitehall with the other baddies.
Council
Cool.
of Evil.
We'll leave you
You
there.
can put Anna there too if you want.
Oh yeah, Anna's there. Yeah, Anna's.
She was in the
definitely
list.
there. Yeah,
Oh,
she's on the
sorry,
list.
I zoned out.
So the list is Portia, Eve. Oh no, okay. Portia, Eve, Mars Lady, Lady Susan, Anna, and not Irma. Ms. Brathwaite herself. Theodora.
Breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
The important one.
She's good at delegation.
Yeah, Irma's in the kitchen.
With Dinah.
Yeah. So, where? So I think the trail is not difficult to follow, right? for Gurnaz in Victoria's
okay.
body.
How did you spell Girnoz?
I spelled it Gernoz.
Okay, cool. Just for purposes of my new name.
Gareth Nas. Yeah, so the trail's not hard to follow. It's not being particularly cautious, just kind of rampaging a little bit.
I have a new plan.
Yes.
It's I need your help, Paloma.
Mm.
You see, I have an idea of how I can send Girnoz back to their home dimension. But it requires two parts, and I can't do both. I will need to stay here in my ritual room, performing a ritual,
Mm.
which means I will need you to go find Girnoz. You see,
I was
I
afraid that was what you were going to say.
will start the ritual, and I will imbue this. This. Hold on, let me look in my chassis. I believe it's a golden
Azrael's-
bell.
Azrael was right. All I ever wanted to do was stay in my lab, and everything is just making me go outside.
I will start my ritual, imbue this golden bell with the aid of other dark entities and the perfect resonant frequency of Girnoz. You will then take this bell. I will have to maintain the connection from my ritual room, because obviously that's the strongest point for this, my powers. And you will have to take the bell and successfully ring it at Girnoz, which should dissipate him from this dimension and put him back in his own. I don't exactly know what that means for the body he's in, but we don't really have another choice other than to find out by experimentation. You love experiments, don't you?
I thought I did.
Pull them up. Do you want to take anyone with you?
I think I'm like too ashamed to tell Azrael that I'm like immediately going
Fair.
back out.
Victoria in Sarah's body is
I heard
available.
So confusing.
Or Vittorio. And Cyrus is around. I think that's it. Yeah. Emil's probably off out of the club.
Yeah, I mean, I think story-wise, I don't, unless Victoria's like, if Victoria is nearby or Vittorio is nearby,
Mhm.
I might invite them and grab them. But if they are not, then I think I just kind of rush out.
Yeah, rushing out probably sounds right.
It's not the smartest thing to do, but that's probably what is being done.
So where does the trail lead, do you think?
Let's see our peoples and places. I'm just worried he's gonna go to the star and that
Yeah,
he's gonna be, or to Jenny. Maybe he's going.
Ooh,
and I haven't, and I would story-wise be awkward for Paloma to
Heading
show
out
up at
to,
Jenny's after not showing up for so long.
To retrieve your feral friend.
This is
cousin.
not what you think. Yeah,
First-
that would
first-
be the funniest, I think.
First you're
I
feral
know.
goose,
Awkward.
now you're feral person.
Just a lot of feralness happening.
Your associates are always causing problems.
And
But maybe that'll slow him down if you
What's-
guys do an opium den.
yeah,
Good
ooh.
point.
Vareth, what?
Oh, that's
What
Gareth now.
Oh, Gareth, you're still Vareth on the.
I know I couldn't change it. Like I said, I was afraid of breaking things
I can
by
do it.
changing hidden cells.
Gareth.
So never do. It's a G-E Gareth.
G.E. Gareth. Gareth.
After Girnaz. G-E-R-E-T-H.
Gareth.
It's a fine distinction.
Gotta keep these all straight. Gareth. What is the disposition of this particular dark entity in general? Like they each have their own kind of domains, right?
I mean, I feel like you've nailed it pretty well. And it, like I said, I've never felt it was particularly malicious. It was always thus why we both sort of shared, rendezvous from time to time and explorations into the other's realms
Ooh.
and sexualities. But I feel like, for me, it was more usually as an escape or a numbing, getting away from the darkness. But I feel for Girnaz, it was always more like a pretty much what you did with him. I think like a very puckish
Yeah.
mischievousness, just like woo, ooh, yes, it's
So
Or
I
he
think,
might go to a brothel
yeah,
or
I think
to
kind
Kindred.
of feeling like the tickly shadows of memory that have kind of stuck through.
Yeah,
I think
wants
he's-
to experiment.
He heads to the building that the crow's nest was in, and kind of
Oh gosh.
rampaging through London there.
Good.
So Paloma, I guess this is a paint the scene for you. As you approach the building, what business has moved into it?
Oh, I think in my mind I had thought that the crow's nest was full of squatters.
Oh yeah.
Not that there are a lot of unofficial businesses here. And it has become
like an abandoned
it's
building.
still
basically.
technically in because Gareth still owns it but isn't upkeeping it. Others have come in and
Yeah, I think
started-
Gareth owned the business, but I don't know if he owned the building.
oh yeah. Or I guess maybe Violet owned the building, or
Yeah, I
Probably
think it
not.
was probably what the fuck is his name?
or just some rich dude who didn't pay attention to it, and they weren't
Yeah.
paying. It's just like one of his many properties, and he hasn't checked on it yet. So it's full of all sorts of things you can and fun trouble you can get into. There's
Yeah.
folks selling
They're probably
new new drugs and any kind of sexual fantasy.
It'll be a good 6 months before rich owner notices the lack of income from that property.
Yeah.
I think maybe Toby was the original owner of the building, but after he got taken care of, like
Oh, Toby.
there was no one to upkeep it and no one to check, no one to collect rent. So
Sort of falling
Our
between the
bad
cracks.
guys were soft.
yeah, so Garanaz, we're just gonna call the body. You can tell has, there are overturned trash cans and carts and flower beds ripped up.
So I'm just running through the streets, dingling a bell. Is that?
I think you want to dingle it till you get to Girnaz.
Oh, okay. But just in
Don't
case.
waste its power.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean,
Not
I
like
don't
a
know.
Salvation Army, like
I don't know when you want to do the ritual roll because I thought that was like the first part of the ritual was sort of imbuing the bell with the
Oh,
power.
okay. I thought you were gonna
And
do the
then-
ritual after.
Well, then I
Yeah.
would have to stay there to maintain the connection
Got it.
to the
Okay.
bell, which is why I can't go because I need to be in the ritual room
Mm.
to be powerful enough to keep the resonant powers resonating until she can.
So
get to him
Gernot's
and
gonna
use
have
it.
a little bit more lead time then while you do the ritual.
Right.
Yeah, not. I won't. I mean, the first part of it just to imbue the bell won't take, but probably a couple of minutes. And then-
Let's see what. So, do you want to do like your ritual for that and bring another dark entity into play? Or
that's how we got into this in the first place.
it's gonna
Hold on, let me
Like
look at my
the-
rituals.
lion
Like the
eat the
cat in
mouse
the hat
or whatever
of
the
dark entities.
Yeah, I feel I think this is like I need sort of a collective of the dark entities to all work together, and I think they would probably inhabit the bell,
Hmm.
and between them, once they get to Girnaz, they'll be able to sort of determine the frequency at which the bell needs to ring to dissipate him from this dimension.
Got it. Yeah, so let's do a ritual to get that bell set up then. What Christian ritual are we perverting tonight?
Are there any Christian rituals involving bells or something like?
I was trying to think of the ceremonies where they have giant statues they take through the
Yeah.
streets.
It's almost like a reverse exorcism kind of.
Exorcism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exorcism.
a little bit.
All Hallows Eve, they ring bells. Candlemas and Palm Sunday, we ring bells. There's like church bells, liturgical bells, and religious celebrations to create a joyful noise to the Lord.
Yeah, this is definitely not that. So that's a good one to prefer. This is like basically convincing this gaggle of entities. You need to take one of yours home.
You're just calling his mommy. Come get him.
Yeah.
Kind of. Hey, you need to take your child home, please. It's running crazy through our
Sanctus
streets.
bells.
Besides, you would miss Girnaz if anything were to happen. God forbid someone here might kill this ravaging feral person. Even though he feels what he's doing is harmless and just fun mischief, others in this realm may see it differently.
There
It's
are
too-
baptism of bells where they wash bells. Bad bells.
Ooh, how do you foul the bell to attract the dark entities?
Foul bell. Make it slightly
Needs
off.
more foul bell.
They put incense on the bells and smells.
I'm
This is
just
a good
gonna have
pamphlet.
to. I'm just gonna have to pre-apologize for this, but it's only natural. Paloma, could you come back in, say, 5 minutes? This particular entity is of a certain nature, and I feel the bell needs to be
Pooped on.
baptized in things that you probably don't want to know about. Just trust me.
I will
The
go
connection
say
I
goodbye to
have with this
Azrael.
dark entity is of a sexual nature.
I don't know.
you see, and-
I'm out of the door already.
Right. I'll let you know when the bell is ready.
Tell him he told me so. Gonna tell him that he told me.
You might
so.
want to get some gloves from the lab.
Oh my gosh.
Cool. Yeah, let's roll for that. Let's roll for that ritual.
So hold on. Let me also see my ritual chamber. What does it do for me during the night phase? My sensitivity and presence is increased by 1.
Oh
so
yeah,
that's
plus
good.
4.
and I'm using the bell.
Yeah.
It gives you a condition.
Yeah, it will give me a condition once.
Is that tainted?
Yeah. Anyone who benefits from
Which
this.
makes sense given what's going on.
Yeah, very much so. Very appropriate. Okay, so I'm using I can use the bell. Yeah, because I'm +1.
Yeah.
So it would still be
Use an object.
3 dice, highest 2, +4.
Correct. Yeah.
Good God Almighty! If I don't do something
Get a
crazy,
mastermind
Could
clue.
still fail.
it very much could.
As we have learned.
1 in 216, I think it is.
That is all ones.
So here come. So it's gonna be +4. First, I'm just rolling into 3. Okay, just getting my shit together. 8 + 4, 12.
That is a 12, solid 12. So yeah, we will forego describing the ritual.
Yes, of course. It's behind closed doors.
The fade out.
And presume that
Hand
all of
to a
the
candle.
ritual ointments and whatnot are subsumed into the material of the bell,
Yes.
making it ring clear.
And it also has like a, since the entities fuse with the bell, they're going to be the ones that drag him back to the dimension. So it has a sort of black smoky haze around it,
Yeah.
almost as if it's like smoking, like
Like
those little
incense
things.
sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think as it's taken away, there's almost like a trail of smoke that doesn't quite dissipate, like a dark umbilical cord
It's
almost.
just gonna be me walking through town with this like fucking poopy trail behind me. So I'm gonna go see the lady I
smells like
like a lot. I haven't been returning her calls because I've been busy doing stuff with y'all. And I'm gonna bring a poopy bell into her.
Although now that
bed.
I'll kind of leave this up to both
We're going to Crow's Nest.
Nicole and Mark as to what makes the most interesting choice. Because now that I think about it, it sort of seems like the ritual was to do that to the bell. Do I need to stay in the room, or is it sort of like
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's
we've done it now,
that's
so
done.
I can go with you after all. I thought I'd need to maintain the connection to the bell, but I convinced the entities to inhabit the bell. Therefore, the ritual is pretty much done, and we can just go and ring it.
Say no more. No more descriptions needed.
Cool. Let's cut to the next unseen. How about that? A young girl sells bouquets outside the flower hall made up from the leftovers of the day's trade. Who comes to her to buy, and who are they taking the flowers to?
I can do this one.
Oh, if you got a hit, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did you have a hit?
Not a good one. Yeah.
I don't have anything yet. I was just gonna make it up.
But
But
no, I had one, and then I realized that it wasn't answering any of the questions.
but would
take
you
the
like
next
to know
one.
about her petticoats? I'll take a stab at it. Yeah, this is a young girl who's gone from flower stall to flower stall and taken the scraps of others. So she has flowers and she has little trinkets, and she has gotten them for free because they're like the leftovers of all the other stalls, and she sets herself up in the pathway of those like different rivers that Heath was describing, and the pathway of how the elite get to the royal theater royal, in a
With
way
cheese.
that she with cheese, in a way that she has to they have to interact with her. She's like doing the everyone gets a pamphlet, and she does the Hare Krishna thing too, where she hands out the flowers, knowing that the genteel will stop and feel like they have to give her something. But actually answering the question, you can see the town clerk pays her for one, and then hands it to his oldest daughter. I don't need to make up characters. One of the actors passed by on their way, kind of rushing through, and they tuck it behind their ear, but later we see the scene of them giving it to their most adoring fan who has stayed after.
Oh.
And lastly, the young girl herself is left with a small bouquet of flowers, which she brings home to her mother, who's squatting in an abandoned building as long as they are able to, before the owners realize that it's being used in this way, as well as some of the coins that she has brought. And they're able to light their candles for another night.
Nice. Francis.
Hello.
So I think we didn't get the complication for yours. And
Oh, yeah.
I think the complication is that
Respectfully ask that it's clone Francis.
I think it is that they do recognize that there is someone trapped inside, and it is you.
Oh, okay.
And I think, yeah, the face that comes like weird fisheye looming,
Terry
in,
Gilliam
like,
movie face.
it's like, yeah, like kind of Superman Phantom Zone
sure.
kind of looming in there, is the one that you recognize.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like the two weird like fisheye lens hands kind
Yeah.
of touch the orb around you,
Uh,
and a voice
God,
that
Jennifer
is
Francis.
like completely unfamiliar and very familiar,
Yeah.
says, what's your hang on a second. That's a bad one.
Do it.
I'm gonna go with and she says, Varder. Why are you in the void? Have you devised a way to spy upon us?
Oh, man.
Eve, can we dispel this? Send him away. It's not
And I
time yet.
think Francis is immediately going to try and turn this to his advantage, or at least Mars Francis, just
Yeah.
as like trying to imply that he has some control over the situation. It's like, yes, this conduit has been a way to spy on your circle for as long as you have been together. Yeah, I've only revealed it now so I can mock you for your, Yes, at last the clouds have cleared enough that you can see what you're up against and how hopeless your plight is. It's not a smart move, but for different reasons.
Yeah, Portia and Eve are both having a pretty good laugh at this.
Yeah, okay.
But I want to see how she reacts to it. I think this is, so what is the proposition here? What is your intention with this front you're putting up?
Let's see. I wish I had thought through that a bit more. I think in as much as Mars Francis is, well, no, Mars Francis should be thinking about this very strategically. I think he wants to wedge just enough doubt in the circle and enough conflict between the members about exactly what's going on that it immobilizes them from taking immediate action against him.
All
He's
right.
buying time and also trying to I mean, I know this is two things, but he's trying to buy time by fomenting a little discord. Like,
Yeah.
I think his perfect roll of the dice is several people think he's full of shit. Several people think, no, he can actually do all of this. Like,
Yeah.
maybe the Mars lady is like, you don't know what he's capable of. And there are a lot of people who are like, I don't know what to think. I could go either way. Like,
Cool. What are you afraid might happen if they completely see through you?
oh man, like what is seeing through you?
Like they know that you're powerless and this is just
Yeah, I don't know if
They
this
do.
is kosher, but I think maybe they realize that I'm powerless because the Mars lady, we need to get a name for her, has
I have a name for her.
okay, just knows me inside and out. And so Mars Francis has no ability to do anything because they basically have a exhaustive dossier. Kind of. Just posted Willoughby to the chat.
Willoughby.
I'm good. Yeah, so I think the bad thing that I would say is that they see through him and they are going to see through everything he ever does.
Yeah.
But it's worse than that.
Yeah, it's worse than that. I think they use that and yeah, I think because they have you trapped in this little magical orb, that they are able to not only see through those plans, but are able to sort of peel your mind apart and like use that information to see any possibility that you would do and
Okay.
what your companions would do. It's sort of cementing the perfect golden man path to make their plan work without interference. And peeling your mind apart in the process.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely a presence roll. I think it's going to be with disadvantage, both because of where you are and because she does know you.
Okay. So no modifier.
To bring the spirit of Lewis.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just not a lot of things I can do here.
Or if
So
Lewis gets
2 and a
sainted.
5 are the low 2. That's a 7 plus a 3 is a 10.
That is a 10. Great. That's perfect.
Whew.
Yeah. So sowing discord. So I think the way it responds, so since Ava and Portia are kind of chortling at your threats, basically, the Mars lady kind of like whips at them and just says like, you don't know what he's capable of. This he is the most dangerous man on any world that he happens to be on. And now somehow he's regained himself and isn't the fool that he pretends to be. And I think I think the lady Susan and Anna are both kind of on a side. And I think they're not quite aligned with her and kind of make some remarks to the effect like, oh, you must have drawn him here because you want him back, or you want him in your clutches somehow. You're putting the plan at risk by trying to like draw him out for your own agenda. And Theodora is trying to mediate between those, and Anna's just kind of plotting in the background. And yeah, so I think there's definitely there's a good moment of discord in which you can try something.
Oh, geez.
And I'll leave you to think about what that might be.
Oh God, yeah. Go out match straight now.
So at the Crow's Nest, this is a scene of squalor. There are definitely like folks outside hanging out, living their best
we
lives
both got
on the
an
street.
echo in the night just now.
Yeah. There are comings and goings. It's kind of a flop house, kind of a drug den. It's
Yeah, it's
like
a mixed use facility.
it's a mixed use space. Yeah. And definitely you can see like someone looks like someone just got rolled outside, probably by Gernaz, who I think the guy is just kind of like brushing himself off to like, I don't know if he was trying to fuck me or dance with me or fight, or eat me. I don't know. Fucking crazy person. And like there's a couple of people in the doorway looking inside because there's a racket going on, but you can tell that there was a window that was broken in right next to the front door. Gernaz decided, why doors? Let's try a window instead. Just like broke it in.
He doesn't know what glass is yet.
Does
Thought
now.
it was an open space.
And there's
Like a
definitely
bird.
a commotion going on inside.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think I would just instinctually kind of just bust in and be like, Gernaz, wait, what were you doing? Stop!
Here, demon.
Yeah, so I think he's actually made his way upstairs. I think he's actually kind of followed your sort of psychic scent to the room that Violet was using as an office. And
If he's in there with his feet up on the table, I'm gonna be so excited.
no, that'd be great though. I think he is definitely like, he's got like a shards of glass in him. He's all beat up, like he's down to his underclothes, pretty much. The rest are tattered off. He's like pretty sure there's like shit smeared on him or grime or something. And he's down on all fours, on the ground, on the floor, licking at the like nasty wooden floor.
Great.
Where Violet bled out, and
Great.
like turns to you with these crazy wild eyes like that, and you can see he's got big wooden splinters in his tongue.
You are not gonna want that body back.
No.
Do we do it now? Or do we need to get him? Them.
That's a good question. I'm just trying to think of a more interesting. Cause I'm like, yeah, it seems kind of lame. Just ring. Okay, ring the bell. Bing, he's gone. Yay!
Well, like if it doesn't work, if we roll badly, then it
That's
will get
true.
interesting. So maybe we try the simple way and then see if
Sure.
it's more complicated.
I mean, I've got things to say, but I can't think of a reason because of what I've already set up that we supposedly we ring this bell, dissipates back to dimension. Let's see what happens.
I feel like the work has been done.
Yeah.
I still don't know why I have to hold the bell now that you're here.
Well, I mean, technically you don't anymore.
I know.
Teamwork.
This habit at this point is just habit. All right, let's.
I think it was so I could. I know why, because you don't want him to see the bell. He'll recognize.
Oh yeah, you distract him.
He'll recognize the smoky entities
Oh yeah,
and know what we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
yeah.
Okay, so
I think,
you get his
what
attention
happens?
and I'll ring while you're getting his attention.
Yeah, when you enter the room with the bell, when he goes up, he's stopped licking the floor and started like sniffing the air around as if he like says, what, why are you here? Leave me to my delights.
Listen to me, Gernaz. I understand this potpourri of new treats and hungers you're experiencing. it's similar to what we each experience every time we experience each other. But you have to understand, this body that you are in, much more fragile and disposable than what you're used to, and you are nearing the end of its lifespan. If you do not stop this, you will perish here in this world. And when that body ceases to be, I don't know what will happen to you. And
So
I
while
don't
you're
want that to
giving
happen.
this long
I'll
speech,
be
I'll then do
released
the
from my
dingling.
torment, you mean?
No,
I'll finally find rest? I'll be destroyed?
you might be transferred to eternal torment. That on irreparable. If I don't know. We're both in new territories here, but I'm counseling you from my own supernatural experiences and abilities, that pursuit of these hungers is never leads anywhere but to bad things.
I don't know if we should be making decisions for them. As long as they're not hurting anybody. They have hurt some people, but
I've heard, and they'll continue to hurt people probably, incidentally.
yeah.
You
Won't be all.
belong back in the other dimension where you will not perish. When this body perishes, I don't know what happens to you. It could be the worst hell you've ever experienced for the rest of eternity.
I've experienced so many foul
You could be
things.
like trapped.
It's already
in
been an
in
eternity
orb.
for me. Every moment has been an eternity of torment, except the few moments when you bring me back, bring me out. And now I'm here. If I go back, I go back. But for the chance to experience nothing. And he looks around frantically as if searching for a weapon.
Oh, buddy.
What are you afraid might happen if Violet left a letter opener or a knife or something lying around?
I'm just worried he's making some good points.
No.
Like Paloma's torn is like, oh, I don't know. He sounds happy.
Yeah, that just the feral hunger will take over, and he'll be unreachable, and he'll just attack me, even though I'm trying to reason with him and maybe find a mutual symbiotic solution of some kind. But if he's beyond that, if he's just blah,
yeah, and I think the slightly worse than that is he's not going to attack you. He's going to use the knife on himself, and you will not have a body to go back to.
I mean, I wasn't planning on switching bodies back. But,
Oh yeah, you're like smoke right now. Or did you?
well, no, I did
form into,
coalesce into a
Yeah.
new form. Yes.
Smoking.
Smoking.
Let's do a presence because you're trying to talk him out of it.
Mm-hmm. Trying to talk him down into
Yeah.
let's have a chat, like intellectual people, not feral monsters.
Yeah, Gernaz has a feet up, cigar, wad of cash.
So presence roll, and I guess that's just gonna be regular straight up, unless I do something about
Unless
it.
you can bring a pewter locket into play.
Right?
Or if the rifle helps you have the intellectual discussion.
Oh, that's so true. I do have a Tattoo's rifle.
Let's talk about this reasonably.
No, let's just roll. Let's just roll. See what happens. Presence roll, and my presence is a 1. Is that correct? Just making sure I've updated all my thingies, and I have. All right, well, let's see what happens. A 7. So
7. Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be raining.
Cool. Yeah. So you do manage to talk him out of his immediate course of action. And I think the complication is that he, while you're talking, he's had a moment to sort of extend his senses around, and he knows that you have the bell that can dissipate him. And he calls you out on it. It's like, so you don't want me to take care of myself, but you're planning on doing what with that?
That is a last resort. I want to talk to you as old friends and find some way out of this that hopefully we are both amenable to. You know me. We have a history. You know I don't have no desire. Have I ever given you cause not to trust me? Have I ever shown any desire to harm you?
I mean, yes, but it was agreed upon.
Well, with consent, it's different. I've never done anything without your consent in the past. And I don't want to now, but you do have to understand. Let us turn the tables. Now, I don't know what your world is like, so turning the tables may not even make sense. But you're here rampaging, hurting people, innocent people.
Innocent.
And there are people here who will not let that happen, who will do whatever they can to kill you or take you. Well, they'll probably try to take you in first. That obviously will not happen. And then they will kill you.
You're promising me a good fight, is what you're promising.
You should not be hurting the people of this world.
You know the people of this world, especially this city, this filthy, smoky, dirty city.
But
There's
you
no
don't know
one
the
innocent
good ones from the
inside
bad
it.
ones. You have some magical ability to only hurt the bad ones and leave the good ones unscathed. You've already. I've seen your path of destruction. It's
I can
wanton and it's
see-
indiscriminate.
I can see inside everyone here. There is no goodness.
Paloma shrinks a little bit.
Oh,
Yep. Everyone in this city has something to hide, something they're ashamed of, something that deserves what they're going to get. You know this
And
is
you?
true.
What makes you able to be judge and jury on that? Are you so perfect yourself?
I am
Your tongue
I
is
am
full of
perfectly-
splinters.
perfectly foul. There's nothing at all good about me, which is why I can see the evil in others. As an angel could pull out the spark of goodness, I can see every wisp of black marks on
You
everyone's
should
soul,
really
including
enjoy
yours.
London.
Look at yours.
I do every day.
How many have you killed? How many deserved it?
But that is the point. None of us are faultless. But we try to find the light and stoke that light within ourselves to be better.
There is no light within me. You know that better than anyone. That's why you call upon me. If there were light inside me, you would not be able to reach me.
You make
Leave
sad,
me
Kianos.
to what I do. Someone may get hurt, some may die, but this body will wear out, and then the problem will take care of itself. All you have to do is look away.
And then you leave me no choice, Paloma.
Ding ding ding. I think I want a sensitivity roll from Paloma on this one.
Yeah, I got good sensitivity.
Oh, you do. What are you afraid might happen if this whole Bell situation doesn't work out for you?
So, so many things.
Right.
Like immediately afraid that this monster will take me down and then go through me to go to his pleasures. Or maybe switch bodies with me and leave me in the, or maybe, maybe I'm worried that he's gonna use this body up and then jump to my body.
Ooh, a little
And
shocker
take-
situation.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes
Um,
sense. I'm worried about a lot of different things.
Yeah. I think the worst that can happen probably is along those lines. might jump out a window or something, and then when the when the body shatters, the spirit shatters as well, and it's able to take over a bunch of people nearby, and they all
That'll be
go.
the second time a monster has jumped out a window near me.
It's a it's a thing.
Eventually, you start asking yourself, is
I'm
this
worried that I'll be
me thing?
kissing a librarian and he'll kill her while I'm kissing her, and then jump out a window. I'll stab him.
It's been a while since the last window jump.
It was early, yeah. So 2 + 2.
2 + 2.
You can do it. I've taught you in the ways of
Ding,
sensitivity.
ding,
Yes.
ding, 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 ding.
11. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I think the most fun way to do that would be like he sees what you're going to do and goes to jump out the window and like makes a run for it and like is in midair when the bell rings, and despite all sort of physics, the sort of darkness kind of just seeps out of every orifice, eyes, mouth, ears, everything else, and sort of like coalesces back on the bell and just sort of shoots back down the umbilical cord.
And, all the way back.
And it's just like, he's taken care of and trapped basically in your ritual circle. And the body just kind of like stops in midair and boom, falls to the ground.
Ooh, we should get out of here.
A perfectly good body, though.
Yeah. Let's do the next unseen there.
Hate to waste the parts.
Unseen. Right. What scenes of high drama do we see play out on the stage of the Royal Opera House, and how do we see these same tragedies and romances play out in the street outside?
All right. So the stage picture, you have someone who is clearly the king, in robes with a crown. And we come in on the scene when he is breathing his last, clutching his chest, and getting out 2 last basso profundo notes before stage falling forward and the crown tumbles to the ground.
Nice.
And then we see stage left and stage right are 2 knights or princes who immediately turn from the fallen king to the crown and to each other, and both draw their swords, and cut from that to someone fallen in the same position, but it's a middle-class gentleman who went down the wrong alley, and you see kind of blood trailing from him, and I suppose a wallet on the ground in front of him, and then a couple of thugs with blackjacks, kind of first cheery about it, and then looking at the money and looking at each other.
Nice.
And I think that might be it.
Yeah, that's great.
I guess the idea.
Yeah, I think it might be a good time for a break. We'll break on that for take 5.
Give me some more time to figure out what the hell is going on.
What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. See you in 5.
Bye.
Alrighty. So, Francis, what's your big plan?
Okay, I think the big plan is that Francis tells the group while he has their attention. And you realize, of course, that this is a weak prison. That even the slightest fissure, if anything were to make even the slightest fissure in any wall around me, I could slip through. I would still be stuck in the fragrant void, but you would never be able to find me without coming into this world after me. Now, I am going to make the point out of character that he is not saying this just to brag. This is a way of giving instructions to his thralls in the room, which already include Portia and Irma and any other side character I can scar into being a thrall.
Ooh, yeah. I think you can scar. Let's see, not Theodora, not Eve, but I think
yeah,
you can.
those are threats.
Yeah, the other ones are fair game.
So those are 3 I can get on my side.
Oh my
so
god,
you
you're gonna
have-
take Anna?
You have Portia, you can get Lady
Do
Susan,
it.
Anna, and the Mars Lady.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. What were the other 3 you said? Lady Susan?
Lady Susan, Anna, and your Mars Lady.
Okay, I'm definitely going to take Lady Susan. That gives me 2 people. If I just get that, then I've got 2 thralls in the room out of 6. Oh man. Like, it's tempting to get both Anna and the Mars Lady, but it's also, like, from a story perspective, I really like having the Mars Lady to work against.
Nice.
I don't know. Nick, how do you feel about thrall, yes or no, for Anna? I'm leaning against it myself.
Yeah, I don't mind Anna. Yeah, maybe the Mars Lady is not quite human enough, or but yeah, I totally can take Anna. Serve her
Okay.
right to be controlled
Okay.
by another.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and scar myself to thrall Anna as well.
All right, that's 2 scars.
Yeah. But I already had Portia in the pocket, so yeah.
Nice. Cool. That's half scarred already.
Yeah.
All right.
Half scarred after getting cleared, I think.
Oh yeah.
So it's like 1.5 iterations of scar.
Yeah, so I think we yeah, so how do Anna and Lady Susan
Show that they are.
Yeah, display their fealty?
Ooh. I think it's that, if it's okay in this case, they both kind of repeat what Francis was saying in a way, both a bit louder so that Irma can hear from the next room, perhaps. And also that, like, they're kind of saying in code, we're all on the same wavelength, right? We're gonna break him out.
Cool. So the Giveth has you making a gift of something from your personal quarters to a worshiper to make them do exactly as you say.
If I, yeah.
Yeah.
And I only have the goose at this point.
And you only have the goose at this point.
So I can't get everybody to do exactly what I say at this point, but
you could get one and the rest could follow suit probably.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, much as I hate to give up the goose, yeah, I think I have to do this. Somehow the goose is gifted to Portia, I guess would be the most useful, since she has the most knowledge about magic, etc. Yeah, if there is a way to use, well, it has to be making a gift of the object, so we no longer have a goose around the place.
Yeah.
Unless we get the goose back, just saying. Yeah.
And we can kind of like do a flashback where the goose went with Portia when she left, maybe.
Oh, sure. Just followed her out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. So what are your instructions for Portia?
Let's see. I think the idea that I'm getting across is that I want her to magically create just enough of a crack in whatever is separating Francis from the rest of the fragrant void,
Mhm.
for him to get away from the orb connection.
Yeah.
If that's possible. I'm sorry, I'm making this.
Yeah,
circle.
no, this is good.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah, if there's a way to use the camera for that.
I think that might, like, while they're sort of bickering,
Mhm.
she slips away out of the
Uh-huh.
room,
Oh no.
and you know, it seems like a while, and they this is a high-spirited bunch.
Who have
um,
already kind of arguing with each other as well.
yeah, who are probably like all working towards different purposes in the same general
Oh,
direction under
no.
the
Yeah.
leadership of Theodora.
Mhm.
You know, Eve definitely like, she's like, y'all are my new coven, right? And
Oh
they're probably
no.
not 100% on board with that. Theodora has her thing, and so they're the and you know, every once in a while like calms down, and then someone says something, it starts back up again.
Mhm.
And it's probably like half an hour later, you feel, it feels almost like an earthquake, a little bit, a little tremor.
Yeah.
And I think from our perspective, it's back in Portia's room where the staff has been dropped on the ground,
Oh, okay.
and she just kind of looks at it and considers it for a moment, and then just smashes it against the wall.
Oh no.
And the image in the crystal ball fades,
Mhm.
and it takes a while for them to notice. But from Francis's perspective, the walls just kind of like shatter.
Yeah.
And you are back in the fragrant void proper.
Oh boy. Now you have two problems.
And now you have two problems. Yeah. Can't believe you in the void for a minute.
Yeah.
So Paloma and Gareth, what's the deal? Gareth. So I think the Gurnaz is contained in your ritual room right now. And Victoria's body is in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, does she want this back? Should we?
I don't know if she's dead. Like the body is.
I wonder if I could take it back to
alive.
try to fix it up for her in case she
Yeah.
wanted it back ever.
There's just no. She's like not in a coma, but just there's no soul in it.
Yeah.
It's a soulless working body.
Yeah, I mean she's in Sarah's body right now, but I might just keep it for her in the lab in case she wants it.
We should definitely weekend it, Bernie's it back to the house. We can throw an arm around each of our necks and be like, "Oh, come home."
Oh yeah, I forgot
Come
we can't
home.
just carry bodies around. Yes.
Sarah, you're drunk. We're taking you home now.
I'm too many at the star again.
Yeah. So, what are you afraid might happen if someone notices you and starts asking
We have
questions?
to have that someone recognizes Victoria, and we have to make her talk and answer their questions. Involving a comedy scene.
Yeah, I think the worst is it's gonna be cops, and they're gonna wonder why this unconscious woman has been beaten up so much, and why you're trying to take her back to do something
Shards
more to
of
her.
glass and splinters in her face.
Yeah. And I think this is gonna be a composure roll, and you both have 2, so Either one of you can roll 2 + 2.
I rolled last, so you can roll.
All
Unless you really want me to.
No, I don't care either way.
Oh, you have a 1 composure. Sorry, I was looking at Francis.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So Paloma has a 2?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a 2. I can roll.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I have more.
You're more composed than me.
You're a lot
I'm
more.
unraveling.
That's fine. You're a little high strung. Um. All right. Yeah. Cool. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Victoria's.
Just a drunk lady. That's all.
Do I have anything that could be useful for us in disguising?
A cowboy
we're-
hat?
Is
If only we had a cowboy hat.
If only we had a cowboy hat. So are we trying to roll that the cops don't, are there cops there and we're rolling that they don't notice us, or
Yeah,
we're just
it's
hoping to be
nighttime in
unseen?
London, and it's there. If there's something like someone dragging a beat up body around, that's something that'll be noticed and probably not looked on
okay.
kindly.
So hopefully it really does come off as us taking a drunk friend home and
Yeah.
no one investigates further.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just do 2 + 2. I don't really have any objects that make sense.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of books. I could just like throw a witch's cauldron at them. But...
All right.
Oh gosh.
Vicky's
Could have
got an
been
8,
worse.
right?
Oh,
That's
I
an
rolled a
8.
1 and a 5, and +2 is 8.
Yeah, so you do not attract attention, but I think the complication is that by the time you get her cold, get her home, Paloma checks the body out and there's no longer a pulse and it's no longer breathing.
It makes sense.
I mean, it didn't have a soul in it, right?
Yeah.
But it was still like
Oh, it was like coma.
operating. And,
Usable.
Yeah, it's still usable.
Oh,
Now it's a
Or if you wanted to
corpse.
switch
I
them
mean,
back.
I can. That doesn't really stop me.
I was gonna
Not
say-
with that attitude.
I was going to say that's not necessarily that big of a deal to Paloma.
Put it on
Oh,
ice.
so-
Soulless body,
Also-
corpse, whatever.
Also, keep it on ice for
Okay.
her in case she wants it.
Yeah, on ice.
Be a conversation starter.
Put it in one of the tubs, one of the 2 side-by-side tubs full of
we got
ice.
some- oh yeah, we got one of those tubs. There's tubs in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I'll put it in the tub for her in case she wants to have a choice. I guess she'd have to fuck it. I don't know how it goes.
Oh no.
That's my power. I don't think she has that power.
Oh, maybe you could help her. I don't
You'd
know.
have
don't
you
know.
go into her and she. Yeah, there's always gonna be
Go
a
to
few on,
her.
I
It'd
guess.
have to be like a
You-
whole bunch of
You'd
sex
have to fuck
happening.
the dead body and then fuck her again.
Wait, no. I think it's the
happen.
opposite, but I don't know. It's confusing.
Okay, Mister, I'm a demon incorporeal right now.
Yeah, you are
Yuck,
also
the
yeah,
yum.
crazy demon guy right now.
It's true.
Yeah, I think Victoria in Sarah's body is like at home when you bring it home and sees just like what happened to me, what did you do?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna go check on Azrael. I've done enough tonight.
It was not
It's all yours.
intentional.
How are you? I don't understand. Did you find someone else to? What did you do to them?
I'll let myself revert back to my new shadow form.
Jesus fuck.
You've been cheating on me.
It was not intentional. I didn't mean to swap bodies. It was I in the midst of intradimensional sex. I merely had the scientific thought wondering if you could even swap bodies with Ninty, and if you could, how it would work. And in the nanosecond that I had the thought became reality, and I had done it, and I without even realizing it. And then the entity that was in that body, I believe that somehow putting. I had encountered this entity many times in the in-between, and it was never like this. I think somehow maybe putting it in that body broke its mind in some weird way. It's not the same entity I had dealt with. It was feral, it was hungry, it was rampaging through London. And it did all the damage you see to this body by crashing through windows and biting floors and just trying to experience all the new sensations it had never experienced in his life before. So I'm responsible for it, but it was not intentional. I never meant to swap bodies. Though I did wonder. Now I don't have to wonder. Now I know. It's complicated. I'm sorry. I didn't get the impression you wanted that body back.
I mean, I had been used to it for quite a long time. This is a new, interesting sensation, new perspective, but I guess I always had thought we would switch back eventually, but now I see that's not really an option.
I don't know that it's completely out of the question, but
I suppose I could take its face, put it on mine. Maybe I could take all of it. The skin.
I feel like you may be delving back into some habits you're trying to get out of.
I mean, I wouldn't be killing it.
Well,
It's
that's
already
true. I can't
dead.
deny that.
Paloma could have the insides.
Oh, goody. Plum is still there.
Well, I
Plum had
hardly,
just been, like, hiding. Ooh.
I
well,
hardly
I
feel
accept,
like
I accept.
I hardly feel like I'm in a position to counsel anyone.
And
About
what will
anything.
you do?
Or
now,
if you were
like
wanting me
this?
to maybe revive it, we could. you didn't
I do
find
feel
it.
like you and Paloma perhaps. It's not my place to tell you what you should or should not be doing.
And what
I've-
about you?
I mean, I suppose this is me now. Unlike you, I've had a little bit more experience. Not a lot, but a few more jumps. So it's becoming more familiar to me to be somewhat of a nomadic soul. This one's new, though. Didn't really know I could do this. We have far more pressing matters to worry about at the moment anyway.
This seems really, that must be terrible. Then this seems fairly pressing.
Well, Theodore Braithwaite is... Her plan is coming to fruition, and if we don't stop it quickly, I don't think any of this will matter.
What's she planning on doing? It couldn't be that bad.
Well, that's what we're still trying to uncover, but it's something world-changing and something that anyone who's not on board with her would most likely not be a beneficiary from. Which is why we must find more clues to her plan and stop it, and then we can worry about getting on with the rest of our lives.
Well, I suppose Paloma and I have some conversations ahead of us then.
Naturally, if there is anything I can assist with or do, I am at your service.
I feel like you've done enough.
Fair enough.
Let's do the last unseen. How about that? In a gin place later in the evening, sex workers and actors sit side by side, enjoying a drink after a busy night. How do we see the kinship they feel for each other?
This is a place you can tell where people, it's a nightly gathering, you know, as the shows are over, the troops meet here to drink, and then as it gets later and later in the various the ladies of the night, when they have had their fill or decided to call it an evening, they trickle in a little bit later. They're all very familiar with each other. And there's a very large group. It's kind of very communal, where everyone is, it's a point where there's been dancing and singing and playing games, all as a huge group, as opposed to like individual little tables. It's sort of a big to-do. And someone raises to us, well, once again, it's almost time for the sun to come up. And I hope that once again I will see all of your lovely faces here. This is where the true upper crust of London gathers, in this room, regardless of what the self-proclaimed upper crustians may think. And then one of the prostitutes is like, well, speak for yourself, Mr. Artist. We're not of the same caliber at all. And he's like, aren't we, though?
I've got me a lower crust. Yeah.
He's like, oh, I believe we're very much alike. As a matter of fact, I've seen your performances, and you are better than many of the actresses in the shows. I can tell you that much. And then you think little of yourself sometimes, and you shouldn't. Because you know what? You make an honest living. That body is yours to do with as you choose. Some could argue that what's worse? Selling an asset that you have, or someone like me, an actor who sometimes sells my very soul, my very essence to sometimes for higher art. Sometimes you can move people, you can make a difference, but many times I'm hired by the man down opening the new clothing store to hawk his wares. We need someone outside. So I somehow feel like that's a much more tawdry thing to sell. Myself, my very dignity. No, you do not speak ill of yourself. We are all equals in this house, and all of us, every one of us in this room, above those who deem themselves the best of London. Hear, hear to us all. Let us
Clink.
meet again tomorrow night.
Awesome. I think I want to see the scene with Paloma and Victoria downstairs.
All right.
So we've got the body in a tub.
And I think Paloma's like, between the two of us, you might have a couple of options. You have your normal method that you usually take, and I have been successful once before in revitalizing a body.
It seems like you took
Or a
the
collection
best
of
parts from a bunch of bodies.
I did not have the only out of necessity. I didn't have the luxury of an entire body that I knew to be mostly sound. Maybe we might need to find some parts for the pieces that were irrevocably damaged, but
Probably a new tongue.
yes, and
That leg looks broken too.
yes, maybe if that hand. But up to you. You could go your way or my way. Or you could stay as you are. I just wanted you to have. I felt like today we didn't give. He said he was a creature of foulness. And yet he saw us more clearly than most other people do. And part of me wishes we had given him a choice, and I guess that's what I'm trying to do here, is at least give you a choice.
What happened to him?
He was sent back where he came from.
I think out of character, he's still upstairs in the circle.
Oh, you hear like, I think maybe we hear a crashing or something. It's like, oh, he's in the ritual room.
I figured that's probably where Gareth went after him and
I think Gareth is dealing with him presently, but hoping to send him back to the void, or the dark void. I don't know. There's so many different other places that I only recently learned of and sometimes don't even fully believe.
Being here has taught me. I thought the flesh was the only thing that was real, but I've learned through direct experience and through observation that there's much more to the world than I had originally thought.
And I think I actually kind of want to try to get a clue out of her.
Oh yeah.
I think I want to say, you truly didn't know about Braithwaite's plans. And I think I'm trying to like fish for information. Like, I thought you of all people would have some information. We're trying to figure out where she plans to do this. And it's of utmost importance. I think those of us that are not in the inner circle will find ourselves disappeared if we don't act fast.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and make a information roll with I feel like it's a presence roll. What do you feel like?
Yeah, that makes sense, even though it's not my strong suit, but it does seem like what I'm doing. Where is Francis?
the note was still untouched when we came home.
This note is untouched.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
wherever
think
he
I
is,
pick
he's
I think I
having a
pick up the
great
note
time.
and I'm like, where is Francis? Yeah, so a presence roll. Do I have anything I can give her?
Perhaps tomorrow we should go to a millinery and pick you up a new cowboy hat.
Please, I want to. All right, I'll just do a presence roll.
Yeah, nice.
10 straight up.
Yeah, 10.
Clue.
Give me that clue.
Yeah, which clue do you get? Let's see.
A new cowboy hat?
It's not a clue.
Could be.
That's what they're gonna dig up for me, though.
Oh yeah.
Off of Ginny's dead body. Oh
No, you got a 10. Unless you
no!
want
Gotta
to
get off to the flagrant void.
Let's see.
See, the flagrant one is where all of the dark entities are.
And there's the vagrant void. That's where all the
vagrant Freud.
where all the drunk dark entities live.
I'll give you this one.
I've been rolling really
So-
well.
I know.
Yeah. On a roll tonight.
I'm on a roll.
There's Theodora. So yeah, she does. I think she looks a little bit chagrined for a moment and says, I was, in all honesty, before, or I don't know when you got wind of my activities, but I assume before that, I was approached by Ms. Brathwaite.
Mm.
She had my clients were of the highest class, wanting to rejuvenate themselves with beautiful faces from those who are less deserving, which I was happy to provide. And I assumed that's what Theodora wanted from me. But I could tell that she already held herself in high regard and didn't have the vanities and insecurities that my other clients did. I knew she wanted something else. And I refused. I knew that what she wanted in trade was not my art. I was going to be a tool for something else. She offered me, and I'm sure she knew that I had my own peculiar arrangements, but she offered me a townhouse in a luxurious neighborhood. Would have put me close to many new clients, I'm sure. But I sensed something wrong, and I declined. And the actual clue we're getting is rumors of a townhouse in a Tony neighborhood that is always well lit at night, but no one is ever seen coming or going.
Clue, 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 clue,
Clue, clue,
clue,
clue.
clue, 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 clue.
So if you feel like burning masks, you could definitely do a theorize.
Woo!
How does
know.
Paloma respond to that?
I think Paloma says, well, you would never try to control what you do, but you always have a home here with us, should you want it.
I don't think I'll be needing that body. Not that I subscribe to. I clearly believe in a soul now, if I didn't before. But I believe the vessel also has something to do with the actions of the one that inhabits it. I feel lighter in this body. There's still. What?
Just that was yeah, no, I'm glad. Maybe that body was a saintly person, not a witch.
No, like I
Trying
feel,
to kill us.
you know, strands of discord in this one, but not the cold hunger that was in the others. I don't feel the same need. I feel I still have the skills to apply my trade if needed, but it's no longer a struggle to refrain.
Well, as you have seen, and as I'm sure Azrael has employed you many a time, your skills are quite translatable to less murderous occupations. But I'll let you make your own choices about that. I of all people can't really judge.
Maybe I should speak with Azrael about that.
This technique is getting beyond mine. I used to be the best in my field, and now my progeny has already surpassed me.
All right, I think that's good. Francis, welcome to the Fragrant Void.
Meanwhile, in the
Walking-
Fragrant Void.
walking
Oh,
home.
God.
Walking home on the Uber.
Walk of shame on Gruber.
Walk of shame in the fragrant void.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fragrant, this is still, it's kind of a endless flat plane of mists and shadow.
One of those.
And yeah, just one of those.
Sorry.
And you are off the off the void hyperloop that that Barrett has taken you on a few times.
Yeah.
And there's
Oh,
like the dark floating islands and the Titanic beasts. It's like you're basically in the mist, right?
The bad part of town.
Francis is so fucked. Okay.
And
Well,
I think,
less fucked than before, weirdly.
Yeah,
for
less
the
fucked.
moment.
and I think
Strangely.
it's really impossible to tell the passage of time here. You don't know if you've just
Yeah.
like been here for a minute or it's been
Jeremy.
eons. And I think Mars Francis is like pretty firmly taken hold in
I
your
agree.
brain. So what's his plan?
Oh boy. Let's see. I mean, I know the things that he wants to do are generally, it seems like he generally just wants to take control of whatever's going on. I don't know if he knows much of anything about the Fragrant Void, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's been to Mars. I don't think and he has access to normal or, Dandy Francis's experiences with the Void.
Right.
But those don't give him any tools he can use. Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble coming up with ideas or plans here.
Just how about just give me a reason roll straight up?
Okay, and this is my reason, which is -1, right?
Yeah, it's still Francis's brain.
Okay, poor Francis. So 2d6 -1.
Yeah, just to get a kind of read on the situation.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Fantastic.
Oh God.
Yeah. Let me think about it for a second, and we'll come back to it at the end.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's good. So Gareth, let's put you in the ritual room with Gurnaz kind of swirling around in the ritual circle there. And you're able to communicate with him. And yeah, just like, so you've taken my fun away from me.
I don't know what's become of you, Gurnaz. This is not you. But I do blame myself.
This is me. You just provided me with more senses to enjoy myself with. This, although it seems, I'm sure maybe not to you, but to anyone else who would see me, it seems like I would have limitless power with infinite forms, but I think you know that these dark entities that follow you, we are narrow, one-dimensional beings of pure presence, and there's no way for us to experience what you experience except through you, which is why we follow you so closely. Now it's as if someone's plucked my eyes out and put knitting needles in my ears, submerged me in a tank of cold water, cut my tongue out.
Unless you have some other suggestion that I am unable to think of. I see 2 possibilities here. I can send you back to the home dimension from which you came, or I can end your existence altogether.
as much of a hell as it was before. Now that I know that there is something more, it would be infinitely worse. Do what you must.
And there's, yes, I just don't see another solution. You know I can't let you ravage through this world.
Good.
Would you ever consider ravaging in a particular direction?
I cannot be contained or directed. Once let loose.
So there's no symbiotic arrangement we could come to.
The liaisons that we have occasionally stretch the limit of my restraint. Only because you are so skilled with your powers do you prevent me from leaving your grasp.
Well, then I'm sorry it has to end like this.
Don't be.
And with that, I do whatever I would have to do to the circuit to recycle his essence into the universe.
It's like a candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just dissipates into black fog.
I think Gareth at that point is just falls down and collapses on his ritual circle, just laying on the floor. Spent in all possible ways.
Let's go back to Francis in the Void. That's 6.
For Francis in the Void.
Yep.
Francis! Francis!
So I think as you wander, as you walk along, you wonder what went wrong. You see a figure approaching you, and it seems to take forever, but it gets closer and closer, walking with the same gait as you are walking. And
No.
it is when you get close enough, you see that it is
Willoughby?
you.
No.
It is Francis, but walking much more upright, a little bit broader shouldered.
Oh no.
And you can see that he is dressed in the regalia that you were dressed in your visions of
Oh,
Mars.
okay.
And just sort of like smiling sort of casually and congenially as he approaches you, and you stand face to face with your not mirror image but reverse mirror image,
Right.
and he just like puts his hand on your shoulder, his left hand on his
And they
shoulder, and he
make out.
says, "Look at what's happened to you. What did they take from you? What did they take from you?"
Let's see. And I think this Francis News, like, this wasn't my doing, it was him.
Hmm. Well, I suppose we'll have to
hunter.
do something about that then. And it drives a sword through your chest.
Yeah. Okay.
And so 2 options.
Okay. Okay.
Obviously, there's 2 ways to do
Always
this.
2 options.
We can burn a mask, and I don't think the slugger thing is going to be in effect here because this is not physical body really.
Okay.
we can burn a mask to undo the 6, or we can flip your composure and reason, and when you come out of here, you will be fully Mars Francis.
Ooh.
Let's see.
With like all his memories and facilities and whatnot back in.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's okay. And then if I don't have this, then I have 1 mask left.
Then you'll have your final mask. Yeah. I think I want to discuss this with other players, but like I feel like burning the mask just because I feel like I'm having more fun playing Francis, playing the idiot Francis who's dealing with this other personality, but I could also see just this being the time to, since we're getting towards the end of things, to flip into bringing that one on. But still, we still have a ways to go on like.
Yeah, I find the Mars Francis compelling, like the switch, but more in the tensions it'll put on your relationships.
Yeah.
Because it will get you into trouble in a different way. Because we're all used to you being Francis. And then you're
Right.
gonna have this smart guy come out, and we're like, you're gonna uncover the ways in which we've yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
if that feels fun for you, but that feels fun in a relational way, I think, in terms of like it's just gonna cause
Yeah.
weird tension while we're trying to solve this final thing in a fun way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is best for the story.
But that's up to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
character.
Either way, it's gonna work.
Like I worry that it'll be a little less fun to not play the original version of Francis, but eventually I gotta let that flip over. I feel like is a thing that's been sort of promised here, and just being kind of a traitor mechanic in the rest of the game.
Peter's the traitor.
Yeah, as always.
We're gonna be so confused.
Um,
Or yeah, what is the, and then like is that Francis taking your place, or is like sweet
That's
puppy
what I would-
Francis trapped in the void? Do we need to
Yeah.
rescue him?
So I think metaphorically,
back?
if we go with this, that's basically
Killing all.
your old personality coming back and kind of like breaking that sort of
Yeah,
memory block that was put on you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not like
So
a
you're-
thing we could
so
rescue.
You're not losing the Francis that you have. Like you're not going to forget everything and not have those relationships. You're
but
just gonna
that
have the
personality is
additional
no longer.
like you'll have that full like the weight of all of the time I've known, not just however long it's been.
Because you blocked it to save yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in ways that I never managed to nail down.
Yeah, and then
well.
things will fall apart in other ways because you're no longer doing that blocking.
Yeah,
Could be fun.
Yeah, I think that's fun. I think I'm intrigued to see what happens with that.
Cool. Sweet. Yeah. So the old Francis just kind of like, oh, no fair. Like
Oh.
falls over.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see how we get the
Oh.
full Francis out next time.
Yeah.
Woo! That's exciting. And I think that is the end of night phase. Back to dawn. Yeah, I mean, if we do another like full day phase, probably to answer the question, like we probably have max 3 episodes left. Give or
Okay.
take.
Yeah. I feel better about my decision then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like
Um,
1 or 2 masks left. So
yeah, I think everyone's coming up to the
Yeah,
the edge here.
final curtain sort of thing.
Cool. I think the only thing we have to do for Dawn is answer questions. I think
I
everyone
don't think I
got
did.
everyone got echoes.
Did I get an echo? I thought I wasn't around for.
Oh, you had. I wrote it down. There was something. I can't remember what it was.
Like, yeah, we had the pickpockets. We had the opera fight.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, if you can't remember it, then we'll keep that off.
The
Yeah.
King of Mars and the King
Oh yeah.
on the crown falling down.
The two
I don't
people
remember what
fighting over
ours
the
was either.
personality.
Ours
I
is
remember
the
getting it.
squatting, the squatter's house.
Cool. I'll take that. I don't think I.
Both the king and the princess fighting over it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't think I really showed a vulnerable side to anybody. That's going to be harder to do now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so now your composure is going to be -1 and your reason is going to be 2.
Oh,
So
geez.
you're smarter, but you have a little bit less control.
Oh gosh.
-1 and 3? No, 2.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, now
And
give
Paloma's
myself-
getting an item from her resurrection.
Yeah, give me something.
Asking
And then
another
I'm also
hunter what
getting
they
an item
found.
for my experience.
Yeah. So ask each hunter what you found.
Yeah, what did I find? In the yeah, I need 2 items. What did I find?
Oh, I don't know. Do you have the bell now?
Oh,
Oh yeah, maybe I have
Demon
the bell.
Demon bell?
I mean, it's now it's just a bell.
Bell, demon bell.
You never know.
Always
Might
tainted,
have some echoes in it.
tainted demon
Tainted
bell.
Tainted bell.
Formerly tainted bell.
It's still kind of tainted.
Tainted.
It's
for
still
sure.
it got a little bit of black
Always.
smoke on it.
A little
Forever
funky.
tainted.
Um, I don't know why I'm thinking since she didn't take her old body back and you still have that body there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I'm kind of thinking, and obviously this is up to you, but for some reason what's my gut is telling me for some reason you're kind of like, I kind of like that coat. I mean, why let it go to waste on a corpse?
What kind of coat is it? Is it like a fur coat or a
Human skin coat.
human skin
I
coat?
saw it as like a I don't know where it's coming from. I saw it as like a violet corduroy
Yeah.
kind of
Nice.
whatever I don't know if they'd have that in Victorian, but that kind of
Yeah.
equivalent of that. Like a violet corduroy with a kind of maybe satiny lapel.
Nice.
Nice.
Old Princess would have appreciaed that so much.
I know. I am so and Paloma's really excited to show Francis this coat, and it's not gonna go the way she thinks.
Cool. Who else got items, if any?
I mean,
Did Francis roll over?
No, Francis just went from 0 to 2.
Okay, cool. Sweet. And I think that is it for Dawn. And we will start up day phase next time. Woohoo!
it's cool. I can make a pin appear from nowhere. Look, no pin. Pin.
What?
Ooh,
No pin.
No pen. Pen.
Witchcraft.
Fun tricks with Zoom backgrounds.
Cool. Let's do a round of stars and wishes, and we'll start with Heath.
The only wish that comes to mind is once again, I realize I've been completely completely neglecting Sean for 2 episodes now, and it makes me sad.
Or Sean.
All Sean next
Gotta
episode.
learn to work more Sean in. Damn
What the
it.
people want.
Oh, so many stars all the time.
My God.
I am interested to see what happens with New Francis. It was a tough call. I had no input
Yeah.
on it because I'm like, either
Yeah.
way seems very viable to me
Yeah,
in
they're
different
both
ways. I liked our little adventure with Gareth and Paloma.
Almost a little side adventure.
And the fact that we're still like, what happened to Francis? I don't know.
I'm sure he's fine.
He's probably
You
fine.
didn't get the note.
Probably out doing his stuff.
And then just, the weight, it was fun of like Gareth always just bearing the weight of the world. And I was like, fuck, I gotta kill you, but not really anything else we can do here. We're at an impasse. I can't let you rampage around. I guess I gotta. Fuck.
Good. Come on, just a little bit.
Just something more for Gareth to beat himself up about being a piece of
man.
shit who brings death everywhere. But no, it's just good. I'll be interested to see how this all wraps up.
Cool. Let's do Peter.
I mean, just lots of stars for like everybody kind of shepherding me through that. That felt like high degree of difficulty RPG of just like,
Yeah.
your character is alone, trapped in a prison. That's magical. There's no one around except Shadow. It's like, oh my God.
Now you're in an
okay.
Would
empty
you like to do
void.
a one-man
something.
show and an empty void?
Yeah. So thank you, Mark. Thank you, everybody, for both coming up with things for me to work against and for just like stars on being supportive. I know it seems silly that I'm like constantly like, I don't know if this is the best I can do, but it means a lot to be reassured that I'm not derailing everything into ruin. So that was all good. I really appreciated getting time to think of a scheme. And
Yeah.
then finally noticing that I don't know if you had
Oh,
expected
yeah.
me to come up with
I
like,
had
oh,
no idea.
I was like looking over the character list and like, what do these picture icons mean? Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, I always forget about that. It's like, oh right, yeah. Fucking great.
And yeah, so the wishes are just like I'm going to enjoy playing like Mars Francis trying to pretend to be the light, silly foppish Francis, and I'm keen to see how he fits into the final confrontations and everything, especially with just 2 masks left before Kablooey.
Yeah.
And let's see, yeah, and I'm really just eager to see everybody meeting after the crazy night they've been out on, and just kind of comparing notes. I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool. And Nick.
Yeah, big stars for both Gareth and Francis for taking big character jumps. Like Gareth being like, I'm gonna poof this demon. And then Francis for, I think either way you would have chosen would have been really cool. I am definitely interested in how that turns out. And I think my wish is trying to figure out the same for Paloma of like, how can I, like, if this is a horror show, how can I drive this character into some kind of climax in some direction? Because I feel like I was driving at something with Paloma before she had the kid. She was like getting kind of weird and monstrous, and having the kid has changed that into like, do I try to control Azriel or not? And so I think I've softened, and I think I might try to take it more extreme in one direction or the other, just to kind of ride the wheels off the character.
Nice.
I'm not sure what that is or what makes sense for that. Yeah, but I'm inspired by the other characters. That's me.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah, this felt like a hard one, and it was really fun. Like everyone like super nailed it. It was really great. Yeah, lots of like strong choices all around with the demon poofing and the choosing violence on Quinn's part. The little talk with Victoria is really nice. Yeah, and feels like good setups for like I had some vague idea like people are watching, but I like, oh, now okay, great, there's 6 people. Okay, there's people. All right, figure out what they're doing now.
Who's in the Council of Evil?
Yeah,
or
so
good actually, but evil from our perspective.
So it feels like there's a lot of like dominoes set up to go off over the next and
Mhm.
probably like 3-4 tops episodes. So it's gonna be
Wow.
that's gonna be a good ride. See how it all blows up. Yeah, which is just see what happens. Table of mousetraps. Cool. That's all I got. Anything else before we're signing off? All right. Stopping live stream. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Audience.